saw the ad for if you wanted to join TUXtra, so I messaged Helen, who was running at the time, saying, "Oh, I'd love to get involved," and she came back and said, "Yeah, we're actually doing a show this Wednesday." So that was the Christmas show, I do believe. So I ended up co-hosting the show with Helen and Zara, and that was sort of the first one I did. And then I think the next one I managed to do, because I was busy with uni, was the Valentine's one, which I also co-hosted with Helen and Zara. And then there was another 2 shows I did. Helen does a Moon Northeast, so I joined her on one of those shows with the Rodneys. So I was making sure they went in and were on time for all their interviews and stuff. That was my side. I wasn't quite involved with the hosting for that one. And then I did a show based off an acoustic show I did called Teesside Unplugged. So we recorded all the artists performing and picked a song for each of it and sat down with a big whiteboard out. And so this is going to be the first 15 minutes, this is going to be the second, and so on for an hour show. So we took a look at all of the stuff we had to talk about. So we talked about all the artists, gave a bit of background to them all, and just sort of gave them a shout out on their social medias, trying to get their promotion, because that was the point of my event. But yeah, co-hosting is great because you sort of are able to bounce off people, and it's just, yeah, I've loved being a part of it so far because it's so back and forward, and I love music's great. Well, doing the show for Teesside Unplugged, I got to actually discuss sort of artists that I look up to. Me and Helen had a bit of a back and forth about sort of different artists and like how they have interacted with both of us over like time, and because of like different influences depending on where you've come from, but there's always that connection. So there was like that sort of thing between like Helen, who's doing like a media course, and then I'm doing the music course, but we're still both able to connect through music. It's definitely boosted my confidence a bit, because first time talking on the radio I was very sort of shy, but then progressing through some of the shows I was able to get a bit more, yeah, this is fun, you really throw yourself into it after a while once you get used to the idea of like doing it. But one of the things I always was like, you have to know what you're talking about beforehand, because I did the first couple of shows, I was basically picking it off the top of my head, whereas doing like the show for the first one for Noon Northeast, and then the one based off of Teesside Unplugged, that I had notes written down, and like that was sort of my realization that you have to be prepared for when you're going live, because usually if I'm making music in the past, it's sort of, you're doing it by yourself, you're not having to sort of straight away listen to something. But yeah, it's definitely impacted like time management and all sort of that, because you're constantly watching the clock. It helps make you more aware of what's happening. Preparation is the key to the whole thing with radio.